And before we start, I would like to mention that this session is recorded and the recording will be made to you available at a later time point to rewatch any of the points. So with this, my name is Fournier. I'm Principal Data Scientist at the Swiss Data Science Center, and I have a pleasure to be co-organizer for this program. My presentation today will be in English. However, my colleagues Paulina and Raphael will be also doing a bilingual setting, welcoming and introducing the program in German. And maybe more on my responsibilities, I am responsible for collaborations with the industry. I am happy to have this opportunity to collaborate with the Canton to devise the program for the SMEs and to make it every year better. And so with that, Paulina.
Ja, auch hallo von meiner Seite. Ich bin Paulina. Ich bin Data Scientist beim SDSC und war letztes Jahr Teil des Teams, das das KMU-Programm auch durchgeführt hat. Und ja, bin auch da, um deutsche Fragen auf Deutsch zu beantworten.
Raphael?
Raphael von Thiessen, freut mich sehr. Ich bin beim Kanton Zürich, beim Amt für Wirtschaft für die KI-Themen verantwortlich und freue mich auch von der kantonalen Seite, das Innovationsprogramm zu unterstützen. Super, dann würde ich gleich starten, einfach um kurz ein bisschen Kontext zu geben, weshalb der Kanton hier mit dem Swiss Data Science Center zusammenarbeitet, um auch KMU zu unterstützen im Bereich KI. Viele von Ihnen werden es bereits wissen, aber der Kanton Zürich und insbesondere auch die Stadt hat sich als weltweit führender KI-Standort etabliert mit einem super Ökosystem. Es gibt sehr viele Talente im Bereich KI, Machine Learning und in der ganzen Entwicklung von KI-Technologien. Auch die Hochschulen sind sehr gut und die Dichte an Startups und großen Technologiefirmen ist natürlich auch sehr speziell hier in Zürich und deshalb kann man sagen, Zürich ist wirklich ein Top-KI-Standort. Next slide, please. Wir vom Kanton Zürich, uns ist es wichtig, dass wir das Thema KI aber viel breiter fassen, weil KI eigentlich sämtliche Gesellschafts- und Wirtschaftsbereiche transformieren wird. Und für uns gehört zum KI-Standort nicht nur das Deep Tech-Ökosystem, sondern wirklich auch die Verwaltung selbst als Anwenderin von KI-Technologien, die Forschung, auch die Gesellschaft, die Bevölkerung und insbesondere auch die Wirtschaft im breiteren Sinne, also wirklich auch Großunternehmen, KMU, Einzelbetriebe, die ebenso von der ganzen KI-Transformation natürlich betroffen sind und natürlich auch die Potenziale nutzen können. Und die Ausgangslage ist sehr anspruchsvoll. Es gibt sehr viele verschiedene KI-Regionen in China, USA, Europa. Und es wird sehr spannend sein, wie die Schweiz hier abschneiden wird in diesem KI-Bereich. Auch die technischen Fortschritte sind sehr, sehr schnell. Es ist schwierig, da mitzuhalten. Es gibt auch sehr viele kritische Aspekte aus gesellschaftlicher Sicht. Und wie bereits erwähnt, auch aus Produktivitäts- und wirtschaftlicher Sicht ist KI natürlich eines der Schlüsselthemen für die Zukunft. Next slide, please. Deshalb haben wir letztes Jahr vom Regierungsrat des Kantons Zürich ein KI-Programm beschlossen, erhalten mit 4 verschiedenen Säulen. Das heißt, das Amt für Wirtschaft treibt eigentlich die KI-Entwicklung entlang von 4 verschiedenen Bereichen voran. Das eine ist die KI-Sandbox, das ist eine Testumgebung für KI-Anwendungen, meistens an der Schnittstelle zwischen Startups und der Verwaltung. Wir machen auch viel im Bereich der Startup-Förderung. Es ist sehr interessant auch zu sehen, was beispielsweise gerade in Oerlikon abgeht. Sehr viele KI- und Robotik-Startups, die auf engstem Raum ein Cluster bilden. Dann das ganz wichtige Thema, das auch heute uns hier in diesem Call vereint, die KI-Nutzung bei KMU. Wir möchten unbedingt auch sicherstellen, dass KMU Zugang zu KI-Technologien, zu Innovationen erhalten und natürlich auch selber Kompetenzen aufbauen können. Und das ist auch wirklich der Fokus des heutigen Innovationsprogramms. Und als Fundament ist es uns aber trotzdem wichtig, auch die Bevölkerung einzubeziehen und auch gesellschaftliche Bedürfnisse abzuholen. Nächste Slide bitte. Jetzt, um wirklich auf das KMU-Thema zu fokussieren, wir haben viele Gespräche geführt mit typischen KMU aus dem Kanton Zürich Und was sich immer wieder zeigt, ist die Ressourcenknappheit, dass KMU stark an das Tagesgeschäft gebunden sind und oft nicht über die zeitlichen und finanziellen Ressourcen verfügen, um Innovationsprojekte voranzutreiben. Auch strategisch ist in einigen KMU das KI-Thema vielleicht noch nicht ganz oben auf der Agenda. Und dann gibt es sicher auch noch strukturelle Herausforderungen in Bezug auf Datenqualität, vielleicht auch fehlende Kompetenzen, weil es bis anhin noch nicht nötig war, in KI-Kompetenzen zu investieren und auch Governance-Strukturen für die verantwortungsvolle Nutzung von KI. Um einige dieser Herausforderungen zu adressieren, haben wir bereits letztes Jahr das KI-Innovationsprogramm mit dem Swiss Data Science Center lanciert und freuen uns natürlich auch dieses Jahr wieder mit dem Swiss Data Science Center einen neuen Batch durchzuführen von spannenden KMU, die dann auch gemeinsam natürlich untereinander voneinander profitieren. Und wir möchten insbesondere auch den Wissenstransfer unter den KMU fördern. Das ist so von unserer Seite, weshalb wir dieses Programm unterstützen. Im Anschluss gibt es sicher auch noch die Möglichkeit, Fragen zu klären. Aber jetzt würde ich gerne an Swiss Data Science Center übergeben, die dann wirklich noch ein bisschen konkreter aufzeigen werden, was man in diesem KMU-Programm alles macht.
Thank you, Raphael. And here we are with the main motivation for the program, right? Each and every of us right now is using some kind of AI augmented tool or maybe Gen AI, and we do see this individual productivity gain. However, where is still the impact on the business? Is it hard to measure or is it not measured? And where is the return on investment when we buy the tools internally or maybe set up the models? This is what creates this paradox of productivity with zero return. And we would like to address this paradox and also in this program by creating an applied data science and AI models, and also constantly keeping in mind the return on investment and what do these models have for the business need, and not only because it's the most, let's say, hype tool right now or just interesting to play with it. So with that, the Swiss Data Science Center has been established since 2017, and we are a national research infrastructure. Our mission is about driving and the adoption of data science-driven innovation. And we do this across several sectors, including working with the public institutions, academic labs, hospitals, but as well as with industry and federal and cantonal administrations. We do this across the whole data science journey, so meaning from the idea of data that will be collected and used for the model training to fully setting up machine learning solutions and considering industrialization and as well the deployment of these models so that the work we do has the impact for Switzerland. And over several years of our existence, we have been collaborating with a lot of industry partners and mentioned institutions on the slide. And the thing that we decided to do is to collect this knowledge from these collaborations to see how the other companies are measuring this return on investment, how those companies are using the models in the business settings, and what works and what doesn't, what may be the solutions that can help the company to progress in their AI maturity, or maybe just even to start planning the roadmap before they join this AI journey with the others. So we have designed together with the Canton of Zurich a program for the small and medium enterprises in the Canton of Zurich. And the idea is to bring multiple companies that are sharing the common challenges. And we would like the companies to consider what is the primary goal for your AI use case. And applying to this program, we will be curating the experience so that there will be a collective discussions, collaborative prototyping, and development of solutions. And now I would like to walk you through the details of these steps. So formation of the roundtable is about creating an SME cohort where we will actually sit in the round table together. And before we do any of the deployment or code development, first we need to understand how the technologies work. We need to understand where are the limitations and what are the advantages of certain methods. What are the data-hungry methods and which are maybe more robust and have maybe a stronger statistical background, and hence they would have explainability to them. So the first step is aiming to give you an in-depth understanding of the common AI technologies that has brought you together to this round table. We will do it in 2 levels as well. One of the workshops will be for more strategic thinking for the management and to have an overview about what does it take to have an AI roadmap and strategy in the company, knowing that there are several business challenges, and as well the technical workshops where we will be giving an in-depth understanding of how the models work, what does it take to maintain them, to expand them, to train them, and this is about the collective knowledge sharing. In step 2, we are going to put those knowledge into practice. So we are going to have approximately 1 week where we will sit together and we will be developing a solution that will be answering multiple challenges that you have brought into the round table. Why this is beneficial is because one company will have potentially a specific idea and a challenge. However, maybe the companies that are in the round table who are already in a different maturity stage can come with the challenges that the companies will face in later stages. So plus, if we have a representative multiple of domains and industries, the methods usually that are developed are more comprehensive than any solo company would be able to do by itself. So that's why this collaborative prototyping is truly about creating a more comprehensive solution that we will also open source, that will be serving to a big challenge of the shared challenge in the round table. And all of the steps before, we have this notion of the collaborative development and knowledge sharing. However, when you are thinking, how shall I take this prototype and maybe deploy it internally? How do I plug it to my own data? This is the stage where the individual project support comes in, supported by the SDSC and Erhalten Zurich. And there we would have canvassing workshops with you to look into the specific use cases, to do the roadmap, to discuss with you maybe an existing code base, and basically help you to move from this prototype to the pilot stage. Throughout the whole experience, it's about community. And we see that from the first round, there has been such an enriching exchange that the companies have an opportunity to learn from the real world settings what the other companies are facing in terms of challenges, in terms of approval, in terms of governance or deploying those tools. So this knowledge sharing and community building is an integral part of the whole program. And we will also have alumni, so the participants from the first cohort also joining, sharing their stories and their journeys and what the current deployment looks like internally. So this will be an opportunity to really learn hands-on real-world settings and not just the theoretical knowledge of their methods. And Paulina, would you like to go through?
Genau, also ich werde die wichtigsten Punkte jetzt auch nochmal auf Deutsch zusammenfassen. Wenn es noch spezifische Fragen später gibt, können wir die noch beantworten. Aber jetzt erstmal die wichtigsten Punkte nochmal. Das Programm besteht hauptsächlich aus 3 Schritten. Im ersten Schritt gibt es zu ausgewählten Themen Demystifizierungssessions. Das Ziel ist hier, dass alle auf denselben Wissensstand gebracht werden und dass wir zeigen und diskutieren, was die KI-Technologie leisten kann und wo sie vielleicht auch Grenzen hat. Genau, dann im zweiten Schritt erstellen wir für die ausgewählten Schwerpunkte mit mehreren KMU gemeinsam einen Prototypen. Also hier wenden wir quasi das erlernte Wissen aus Schritt 1 praktisch an. Dabei hat sich letztes Jahr auch wirklich gezeigt, dass dieses kollaborative Zusammenarbeiten mit mehreren KMUs dazu führt, dass man mehr lernt und auch, dass der Prototyp am Ende vielseitiger ist und auch ausgereifter ist, weil einfach das Ganze von mehreren Perspektiven angegangen wird. Und dann Schritt 3 ist quasi die genauere Anwendung des Prototypens dann für die einzelnen Firmen. Also es gibt da dann die Möglichkeit, dass der Prototyp auf die firmenspezifischen Daten angepasst wird. Es kann aber auch einfach dann in dem dritten Schritt mit uns die existierende Code, der existierende Code, die existierenden Programme besprochen werden. Und dann können wir gemeinsam quasi das weiterentwickeln, was in Schritten 1 und 2 vorher entwickelt wurde.
Thank you.
Ja, und nur noch, sorry, das Letzte ist halt dann noch, dass wirklich in diesem Programm die Gemeinschaft von KMUs sehr entscheidend ist. Wir haben wirklich gesehen, dass der Austausch sehr viel gebracht hat, dass man aus verschiedenen schon Erfahrungen aus der Vergangenheit auch lernen kann, weil die verschiedenen Firmen sind an unterschiedlichen Stellen oder haben schon unterschiedliche Erfahrungen gemacht mit KI und das Ziel ist auch, dass dieses Netzwerk dann aufrechterhalten wird, auch nach dem Programm und auch die KMUs des letzten Jahres damit einbezogen werden.
So let's imagine now an example of you as an SME joining this program, what it would look like for you. Let's take an example of Emma, who is who is in the management of the SME, and she is coming to the program with the question she would like to optimize her inventory, and specifically, can she has any help to understand how to forecast better the product demand, or what does it take to have such a model? And this is her challenge, but we also will have multiple other SMEs who will be coming with maybe a similar technique of need, so meaning a forecasting technique, but applied to a different context. Would it be for a different product, or maybe for a notion of seasonality about the demand? So we would like to create a common understanding and give the introduction during the step 1 in the workshops that we call also demystification workshops. So in this case, say that if Emma and multiple other companies have this interest in their forecasting models, we would be given the explanation about time series analysis, forecasting models, assumptions for those, and what type of data is required. So having understood this, the companies will be looking into what data do we have already, like, applying this idea of the notion from the theoretical learning to their business case. And in this case, for example, Emma says, we do have proprietary data, but we cannot really share it. Is there still, interest for me and benefit for me to participate to the step 2, where we prototype the solutions? And the answer is yes, because having this common ground of the model that we will be developing, we will look for the data set that maybe is publicly available, or maybe we can create synthetic data that's representative and can be tackling also multiple aspects, because some will be interested in the very short forecast, so very close time spans. Maybe others will be about yearly or 10 years of the forecasts. So we would be trying to create the data sets that we can show the model ability to work with these various aspects that several companies are interested in. And having developed this model, again, because this will be a model that has multiple considerations and, bulletproofing integrated, we can address a challenge in a much more cohesive way and advanced solution. Now, Emma is saying, that looks like an interesting model to start with. However, I would like to apply it to my data set. First of all, to see if it will still work, right? The data distributions might be different, or the type of data that I collect, or maybe to see if I need still to, do I have enough infrastructure to host such model? That's where the data scientists from SDSC, as well as the Erhalten Zurich, will have the time to look into the specific business challenges and to help to envision and to apply these models to the business settings of Emma. And we have seen from the first cohort a great uptake from these prototypes already into the pilot stage. Throughout this whole experience, Emma have been saying, just creating this knowledge shared participation, I learned so much, but I would like to stay up to date, because technologies are changing and the tools are evolving right now at such a great speed that it's hard to stay up to date. And that's where the community building and as well the network that we curate and keep this live conversation going, that's how Emma can be staying up to date with the developments.
Genau, hier wollen wir nochmal zeigen, wie es ablaufen würde, wenn Sie an dem KMU-Programm teilnehmen würden. Als Beispiel nehmen wir Emma. Sie ist Geschäftsführerin eines KMUs und Emma kommt zu dem Programm mit einem klaren Ziel. Und zwar möchte sie ihren Lagerbestand optimieren, indem sie die Produktnachfrage prognostiziert. Und in der ersten Phase lernt sie zunächst erstmal dann über die möglichen Technologien für Zeitrennanalyse und Prognosemodelle. Und dann im zweiten Schritt hat sie aber Bedenken, weil sie hat zwar Daten, die Daten kann sie aber nicht einfach so teilen. Das ist allerdings kein Problem, da der Prototyp ja gemeinsam mit anderen KMUs entwickelt wird und wir dafür auch öffentliche Daten verwenden. Das heißt, ja, dass sie ihre Daten nicht teilen kann, ist dort kein Problem. Aber nachdem wir dann den Prototypen entwickelt haben, möchte Emma ihn für ihr eigenes Unternehmen genauer anpassen und ihre Daten verwenden. Und das kann sie dann in Schritt 3 mit der Unterstützung vom SDSC und auch möglicherweise von Erhalten. Genau, und dann am Ende hat Emma aber die Möglichkeit gehabt, sich auszutauschen mit anderen Unternehmen und hat idealerweise viel gelernt, dass sie auch weiter auf dem Laufenden gehalten werden will und weiter mit den anderen KMUs im Kontakt bleiben will. Und dafür gibt es dann die Community von Teilnehmern und auch ehemaligen Teilnehmern des Programms.
So join this program if you are looking for community to share the knowledge, to learn, to get best practices, to get the updates from the real industrial settings and what other companies are also doing. As well, if you are interested in truly understanding how the topics of AI can be applied in the business context. And we are happy that the companies bring the two perspectives, meaning that we will create interactions between managers and the business leaders together with the technical people who are responsible for those model hosting, deploying, maintaining, so that it is a good solution that can be surviving after this program, and that it has a applied need for your business setting. With this, Raphael, would you like to say the final words and maybe to reiterate any of the aspects that are interesting?
No, thank you, both of you. Vielen Dank für die Zusammenfassung und ich denke, am wichtigsten sind ja, Fragen. Falls Fragen bestehen, nehmen wir die gerne auf. Und für uns ist natürlich auch eine tolle Gelegenheit zu sehen, was sind die Herausforderungen von KMUs in Bezug auf KI und wie können wir diese auch gemeinsam lösen.
If you would like to ask the question, feel free to unmute yourself or just send it in the chat and we will take this question. So is there any support on the hardware side for the local models? If you mean on the infrastructure for the development, we will use the SDSC resources for model retraining as well as helping it to fine-tune. However, when the company will be internalizing those models, we would rather have dedicated discussions about what is the infrastructure needed in the company in order, and sometimes the smaller models are absolutely good going with the local hardware, so not all the time the cloud services would be required. So Paulina, would you like to add anything?
No, I agree with you. It's of course during the prototyping we will provide certain resources, but once the models are internalized for the companies, what we can provide is discussions on what is needed. But yeah, then it's on the company to actually acquire the necessary hardware. But it's also part of the program to consider these limitations, right? We won't propose something which would be way over budget for most KMUs.
Thank you for the question. Does it answer? Great. Manuel?
Hi, thank you for the presentation. I just wondered whether you are intending to roll this out on a more national level. As I understand, that's more for the SMEs in the Zurich area. Is there any collaboration with other cantons or other areas in Switzerland?
I'll take this question. So we currently are running KMU SME support also in the Canton of Vaud. We also have the programs for NGOs in the Canton of Geneva, and a few discussions with other cantons are ongoing right now. The exact program is tailored rather to a specific objectives of each canton, as well as the needs from the business perspective, right? So we right now, it's everything depends on the resources as well as the needs from the cantons to have AI support programs.
Yeah, if I may just add to that. So yeah, I think for this batch, we really focus on Zurich, but I think in other programs, we made very good experience also in collaborating with other cantons to bundle resources, because the questions might be very similar, and scaling up these kind of programs allows also SMEs from Zurich to take advantage of the learnings from other canton. So I would be also very interested in concrete other cantons that might be interested to take up this discussion over the upcoming month to look how we can also collaborate. But I really appreciate also the question, because I think ultimately, yeah, SME AI innovation is a national topic.
And also part of this program, we would like to give the access to everything that we develop in the program, right? Because while the Canton of Zurich SMEs can benefit, there are multiple other SMEs who would have the exactly same question, and it's the same need for the models we develop. So all of the projects we open source, we are preparing reports, we are preparing the more of the in-depth materials so that we can share it publicly. And again, the code that is developed is with MIT license, so it's free not only to use but also integrate in the product and commercialize it. So we really want to do this program impact larger scale. So I also appreciate this question.
Great, thanks a lot, and happy to help in distributing these resources and outputs that you have if we can.
What were the main challenges in the last year's cohort? Thank you, Jan, for the question. We had two teams focused around two main subjects. One is about efficient document retrieval, and for that part, we have developed a advanced RAG pipeline that is now open sourced. And the second team have been looking into actually forecasting models, but they were composed of the different business challenges. So one was composed on the predicting the demand for bakeries, and which was the perspective contributed, for example, by Gonina. And the other part of the forecasting was on the customer reorders that would happen in future, which was a challenge that Bachmann-Cravaten have been also brought into the roundtable discussions. So yes, it was one forecasting and one on the RAG pipeline. Maybe Paulina, you would like to say about why we did not go with the standard RAG as well, because it's also a big development.
Yes, on that note, like we ended up developing everything from scratch pretty much because we thought it would, first of all, enable most learning to not use some product from some vendor out of the box, but to actually see what is happening behind closed doors. Plus, it makes it possible to open source, and it was fully customizable, right? So each SME could then take the parts they needed or also expand on it. Yeah, and then maybe from what I saw, I hear myself double.
Yeah.
This.
Good.
The main challenges I observed was also that a lot of the SMEs had a lot of ideas of what they wanted to do with AI, right? A lot of challenges. You hear about all these technologies, but then actually narrowing down what they achieve to measure, to have metrics to measure what the impact would be that they want to get out of it, and to make sure that they have the data to actually apply these models. I would say this was a bit of a process, right? And this is part of it. This is also why we do the demystification, why we do the education. But yeah, I think this was one of the challenges that I saw.
If I may add to that, we also summarize all the key learnings also from a business perspective across these two topics and share them as reports. As basically also guidelines of how to think about some of these challenges and how to resolve them with the support of AI. So if you're interested in these, we will publish them over the summer, and it's definitely something that we are keen on sharing with other SMEs who might have also forecasting related questions or also planning to use a RAG system. So I think it's a great way to also leverage the insights and the know-how generated throughout the program.
Does that answer your question, Jan? Great. Any other questions we have?
Maybe just if I may add one point, because of the question of why we developed everything from scratch, and it touches a bit on also the question about local models. This program is not designed to use any specific, let's say, tools or services from third parties. We try to make it, or the goal is to develop everything together. And yeah, we have no affiliation with anyone. So this is maybe also something to clarify, which was one feedback we got from the rec team, that this was very much appreciated, because we designed it so it could be used with any, in this case, LLM provider you want to choose later on.
Thank you, Paulina. I joined later, but do you have a specific selection mechanism, and whether you have preferences for projects already endorsed by universities? Here, Marco, thank you very much for the question. I would say no, because there is no specific requirement to have an endorsement by university. We would like you to come with the business challenge that you have, you would like to apply the technology, so that everything we would be presenting and teaching you can directly apply into your context and consider how this would be applied to your settings. In terms of selection mechanism, if Raphael, you would like to mention, we just have we only have published the eligibility criteria, and those are for the SMEs based in Canton of Zurich or significant activities in the canton. And I let Raphael maybe expand on this or any other point.
No, absolutely. There are eligibility criteria, and then also, of course, for the selection, it will be important that the cohort also works with regards to the topics that we choose, and we'll narrow down also after the selection, of course. But it's just important that there's enough common ground so that we really can group the SMEs together and to deliver a good cohort with mutual learning.
So that's why don't hesitate to apply, and you are shaping what will be the topic that we will be diving and what type of code we will be developing, because these are the challenges that we will find a common thread and then have this mutual learning between the companies. Does that answer your question, Marco? Good.
Yes, thank you.
Great, thank you. And all good that you even joined later. We have this session recorded, so we will share it, the link to, in case you want to see from the start.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Any last question? And it should be a good one.
No pressure.
Is anything unclear, or maybe you can submit your application via this online application form. The deadline to apply to the program is till the 9th of August. However, as many going for vacation do try to fill it before this time, and then we will be scheduling the interviews and one-to-one discussions just to understand your expectations from the program and if it's good fit, and also give you more details, of course, of the timeline and everything, the engagements, of what type of timeline to plan on your side. And also to do a small deep dive into the use case that you have in mind, so that we know what will be the challenge that you would like us to share with in this common setting, and so we can dig into those and create the experience, shared experience for everyone. So Since I don't see right now any last question, I would like to say that you can reach out on my email, which is in this KMU program link mentioned. If you have any other questions, we are accepting the applications to the second round. As you've heard from Raphael, we are working on preparing materials, disseminating about what the first round learnings are. However, don't worry, we will be inviting the participants as well to see their journey and to learn where do they stand now, what happened to the prototypes that we have developed together. So yes, we are looking forward to receive your applications